As we close, I want you to hear
This is called
Lentz, atmosphere
the piece of the sermon.
Because you might be thinking, how can you see your church continue to thrive? I'm going to tell you what it's going to be, a grace atmosphere where you can walk in with blue hair. People won't even bat an eye. Where you can walk in where you're living
I'm one of the king's men.
Lifestyle, but you came into a grace culture where people are not pointing fingers at you about a God who's pointing fingers, because we don't serve a God who points fingers. We serve a God who holds up an open palm with a giant hole in it which says, for you, seat taken. If you want, seat to take. There's another story I can tell you about. His name is Devin, as we close. And it's hard for me to talk about, but I owe it to you to tell you how deep the scandal runs, because he was the first guy ever that got saved at our church almost 3 years ago. When we first got there, we had a barbecue. We went out to the curb and he got saved. Because people can get saved outside of church, just so you know. And he was a product of New York City. Model, actor, arrested, 60 times by the time he was 25 years old for violent offenses, been in and out of jail. Just hard.
Awesome story.
He got saved. And a couple years later down the track, he died in the middle of a fall. Thank God he doesn't leave us in the fall. Our Bible says when you're at your weakest, God's at his strongest. But he, passed away in the middle of a horrific fall. And I remember I was telling our church, what stuck out to me about his life? He never really believed in Jesus for a while. He said, Carl, I'm only coming to church because there's hot girls there. I said, that's fine, come however you want. He's like, another time he's like,
sounds familiar.
I don't believe in Jesus.
Not anymore.
But I'm not cool with Jesus. I said, that's cool. Jesus is God.
I'm holy.
Keep coming.
Really
and after about a year, I picked him up in Soho. When he comes out of his apartment, he's like, Carl, Jesus showed up in my quiet time. I can't really explain it, but all I know is that he is the Son of God. And I love him. And I've given everything to him. My sins are forgiven. And I'm going to spend the rest of my life telling people about Jesus. I said, great.
I love it, God.
You know what he told me about 2 weeks before he went to eternity? He told me, Carl, you know what struck me about Hillsong, New York City? He said it was the hugs. What do you mean the hugs? He said, I've been living in New York so long, I can't
that's
remember
missing in the Netherlands.
And I remember first time I came,
when you make 2 or 3 mistakes, you're done.
And he's like, but after a while, people would hug me, and I would start looking forward to the hugs. And he said, after a while, I would try to look like I didn't want them, but I would start to secretly hope that I get more and more hugs. It was awesome. I mean, people I didn't know, they were genuinely happy to see me. He's like, those hugs, week in and week out, would remind me that there are people on this planet who will just love you for who you are. And that eventually got me
not
on
about
my knees.
what you do.
He never mentioned one sermon. He never mentioned one Hillsong United album. You know what changed his life?
The love.
It was a church full of people who just knew the scandalous grace on their own life. Do you know how many people are in this city today that have no idea about the God that you know, about the scandal that we know to be salvation, where you should have to work for it, but we don't because he worked for it. You should have to pay for it, but you can't because God bankrupted heaven